Oh, okay.
Yep. We have, I believe it's two people in the waiting room already. So we're ready. I'm about to share my screen. So everything's ready.
So just
Awesome.
sharing that if it's recording now, that means everything that we're saying will be on the recording that people see.
Okay.
So hold on one second. You'll see when we're in Facebook.
Okay, we are now live in Facebook.
And I'm going to
Awesome,
loop us
awesome.
into the other group page so that we can be fully in.
Okay. Okay, we're now live on Facebook. Are people coming in? I
7
believe.
at 7
Good
Okay.
morning.
Oh, peace and love. I see folks coming into the Zoom space. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, Key. Oh, I see my sister Fatima. Welcome, welcome. Peace and love, y'all. Peace. Oh, hi, Jennifer.
a.m.
Also, welcome, Facebook family. So grateful for y'all to rise and shine with us today.
Good morning, Lai.
Good morning. Welcome, everyone. Um, Today, just grab some water if you have, or your tea, whatever you like to be hydrated. Um, we're very excited to get started again. So, welcome. I'm Angele. For those of you who are new to my face and energy, I'm excited to be with you today. Got some more folks coming into Facebook. Welcome. Folks coming into the Zoom space. Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Welcome, sweetness. Welcome.
Thank you. Grand Rising.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Welcome, Sister Candace. Peace, Sister Jacqueline. I'm so excited for y'all to join us this rising. Welcome, Facebook community. Welcome, welcome. Yes, and I am excited for you to be here as well. Um, Welcome. Come on in. Come on in. Grand Rising. Grand Rising. Hey. This is so exciting. Welcome, everyone. As you're coming in, you feel free to grab your water, grab your tea, um, your um, your juice, or whatever you like to drink in the sunrise, just so we can stay hydrated as we have this conversation about food today.
Good
Welcome,
morning, everybody.
welcome. Hey, peace. Welcome, welcome. Grand Rising, Louise. Welcome.
Good morning.
And hi. Those of you on Facebook, welcome, welcome. Excited for you to join us today. Let's see who else is coming into the space. Welcome, welcome. As you're coming in again, just grab your water or your juice or your tea or coffee, whatever you like to take as you refresh in the sunrise. Grand Rising, Grand Rising. We are live on Facebook. Excited for you all to join us virtually. Welcome as you all are coming into the space.
Peace and blessings.
Peace. Peace and grand rising. Let's see. I see who's coming in. Oh, awesome.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning, we're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
Peace and grand rising, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we are going to talk about health is wealth, the power of food, and investing in our health and wealth. And so I'm grateful for you to join us on this rising. I am Angele, and I'm the founder of the Ampersand Group and Journeys in Harmony, where I support women to live more harmoniously through holistic practice, using food as the catalyst for transformation. And so today we're going to have a conversation about our food and the power that we have in our relationship with food. So as we get started, we're going to first start out with a little bit of breath work to just center ourselves today. So if everyone could just plant your feet on the ground if you're sitting or if you're lying down, just release your shoulders down. And we're just going to take 3 long, deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. And I'm going to take them with you. So first breath in through your nose. Hold it and release out through your mouth. We're going to take another deep breath in through your nose. Hold it and release out through your mouth. Take one more inhale. Inhale through your nose. Hold your breath for a moment and release, pushing all of the air out of your body, out through your mouth. Now, as you settle back into your normal state of breath, I ask you to think about, how do you typically feel when you first rise in the morning? When you first take your first step out of the bed, think about one word that describes how you feel and type that one word into the chat. So when you first rise in the AM, what's one word to describe how you feel and how your body also feels when you first rise in the AM? Okay, blessed, exhausted, grateful, tight, Yes, grateful, I say, tired, Yes, yes. Do we have anything coming in on the Facebook? I want to make sure that they're included in the space as well.
Angele, do you want to invite someone to come into the space with their voice?
Not yet. In a moment,
Okay.
I will.
No problem.
Just wanted to see if anything was coming through on Facebook. Hesitant, I see that. Sweetness, tired and willing to proceed. I see that. I feel that. Okay.
The Facebookers are 12 juicy seconds behind us. So as soon as I get something, I will drop it in.
Okay, sure. No problem. Okay, so as we are thinking about our first rising, let's now transition to, say, about midday. So how does your body feel around 3 or 4 p.m. In the day? As your day is going, think about that moment of your day and give me one word, type it in the chat, of how you feel in midday. Yes, Candace, I feel that sleepy. Midday, what describes your body and how you're feeling, your energy levels, autopilot, sleepy. Grateful, I say, sweetness, yes. And Tiffany, you can go ahead and put up the first slide. Thank you. So yes, never thought about the midday. Stiff but hopeful. Oh no, go back please to the first slide. Yes. Productive. Soreness at first in the AM. Okay, Keisha from Facebook. So this is good because you know, our relationship with food is very, very intimate. And so often we don't recognize and we're not really mindful of the power of food and how it really affects our mood all throughout the day. What we eat before bed affects, you know, our sleep, and it also affects how we rise in the sunrise. You know, as we're consuming foods and different things throughout the day, we really don't recognize how that plays into us feeling tired or not tired, or how, you know, it helps us to be active or energetic throughout the day. And so a lot of how we're feeling, a lot of our emotions, our thoughts, and our overall ways of being really is connected to our food and the power that it has within us. And so you can go to the next slide now, please. So when we're feeling fatigued, foggy in our thinking, lacking joy, or experiencing various ailments, these are typical of low vibrational foods in our bodies and in what it is that we're eating. And so low quality foods causes us to be foggy. It causes irrational thoughts, behaviors, sluggishness, depression, and various ailments and dis-ease. An imbalance in our food life has a direct effect on the imbalances in our emotional and or physical lives. And so you'll see the image here where how, well, it says fast food, but it's really any processed or lots of sugary foods, how it has, it affects our bodies. It affects, you know, not only our physical bodies, but relating to high blood pressure, insulin resistance, unwanted weight gain, high cholesterol, and those things. But it also causes, you know, headaches, depression, shortness of breath, dizziness, and the food that we eat, you know, we also absorb various toxins and things like that throughout the day as we're moving on the planet. And those energies, those low vibrational energy and those toxins are stored in the fat cells of our bodies. And so we can either, you know, hold those things in our bodies, or we can release them and expel them through our foods as well. And so I know also too, in particular, women, we store a lot of sugar and unrefined sugars and things like that. It affects our wombs and our thyroid glands and really has an adverse effect on our body. So I want to welcome in the community to share and, you know, offer for a voice to be shared with me in the space. So let's talk about it. Anyone would like to share on their relationship with food? Have you noticed the power that food has on your thoughts and your being? Yes, Jackson, detoxifying, yes, it does make me feel energetic, and we're definitely going to speak on that pretty soon. Is there a hand or someone who wants to share their voice into the space?
Scanning the board, and I don't see a hand, so I'm going to go with intuition. And let's call on Malika Minat. Are you able to join us with your voice, Malika?
Yes, I am.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so can just the question again?
Yes. You know, what's your relationship with food? Have you noticed the power that food has on your body and your being?
Yeah, I actually do. Especially now with the type of food that I can eat that, would either give me more energy versus some foods that kind of keeps me more sluggish. But yeah, I do recognize that when I'm eating like nuts and flex seeds, those type of things, like I get a little bit more energized. I'm actually looking at certain foods to see what's in it in order to know if it's going to give me more fiber, if it's going to just, keep me rejuvenated versus not so much. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. And have you also noticed, like throughout your day, how you're feeling in certain times of the day, and the effects on how your food might have, or maybe consuming food or not consuming food may have affected, how you feel throughout the day?
Yes, yes. So the consuming food and not consuming food, that when you just mentioned that kind of had a highlight for me more or less, because if anything, I do recognize that more than, oh, I ate this granola bar and I recognize that after the fact. So there are times where I'm not that aware of how what I'm eating is making me feel throughout the day. But I do recognize if there's a big difference if I consume food, a lot of food, versus not that much, or food versus not food at all. Because there are times where that's something that becomes a habit for me. So yeah, that's just disclosing a little bit that sometimes I do have a issue with eating too much or not eating enough. But yeah, and I do recognize if I'm getting a headache, and that might be based off something that I ate within the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Food fuels us, right? And so, but that's, where we get our energy source. And so, yeah, definitely. Thank you for your share. Thank you for your share.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I want to read from Louise. She said, I feel lighter when I eat a lot of fruits and salads. I feel more sluggish when I don't balance it. My body lets me know what I know. Needs to let me know what I know. I say absolutely. Our body tells us exactly what we need. And so we can go to the next slide. So, when we eat cleaner, we think clearer. When we are thinking clearly, we are more aware, alert, and awake to manage stressors, to make balanced decisions, and we are more mindful to walk in our highest vibration each day. So, some folks have already kind of pointed out in the chat how, food really affects our mental clarity and our mental ways of being. So, what are some ways in which we can directly influence our food, and what are some ways in which we have the power to influence our food? We can go to the next slide. So I also want to bring in the voices here. We've already had some folks kind of share about how when they're eating different fruits and vegetables, or we shared about how she feels more balanced when eating greater fruits and vegetables. How's the Facebook community? Is there any? I want to bring them into the space as well. Any shares from Facebook on the power of food and noticing how when we're eating more clearly, we may have more energy throughout the day. We may be thinking more clearly. Our bodies may be responding a bit differently. Does anyone want to share how that makes them feel?
Yes.
Oh,
Go
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No,
I
go
was
ahead.
going to say, Kay Sweetness has her hand raised.
Okay. Come on in, Sweetness.
Yes, I wanted to share about, I notice how my body feels when I don't eat. My body actually doesn't require much food. However, I've been conditioned to eat. And I pretty much, oftentimes I notice I eat for comfort, and the comfort foods have sugar and preservatives, and my body clearly no longer processes it appropriately, and it has a really hard time with sugar. So I keep forgetting the memo. You don't need sugar. Your body doesn't like it anymore. However, things in life, I want to comfort myself. But I did notice, because somebody asked me, so how much food do you eat? How much food does your body require? My body for right now requires very little food. And I feel so good when I give it very little food. And another thing, as far as preparing food with the vegetables, I'm enjoying that more. I'm washing them off, rinsing them with some vinegar, cool water, and really getting into what it's going to give me. That's what I'm noticing. I'm having a relationship better now with carrots. And what is this carrot going to do for me that I need? And so I'm being more conscious of what's in the food and what it's going to give me, and reminding myself is that you need very little consumption sweetness to do what you got to do during the day. And then also, I want to stay focused on what I have control over. However, when you were talking earlier, I was remembering and I got very sad. So I was at the hospital being a support. And when the go-to thing to put in your mouth is in a machine. So that's automatic preservative. So how am I going to think clearly to talk to the doctors and be a support to the person that's in the bed when it's soda and it's, chips and processed stuff in the machine? So just making an awareness of that. Thank you for letting me share that. I am complete.
No, thank you for sharing. And actually, Tiffany, if we could go back to the previous slide that has the quote on there about thinking clearer, because Sweetness, you brought up some very incredible points there particularly around sugar. And so sugar is highly, 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 highly addictive. And it also just really affects our bodies in ways in which, quite frankly, some heavy narcotics affect our bodies. Sugar has that same kind of relationship and stimulation in our brains. And so, when we consume sugar, it really causes several things to happen in our bodies, which definitely do help us. It doesn't help us to be balanced. It does the adverse effect and clouds our mental space and causes a lot of inflammation and the sluggishness. And so I also saw someone mention in the chat about eating a heavy breakfast in the AM, and the standard American diet is really heavy on having a heavy breakfast, and our breakfasts in America are sugar-based, high in carbs, and carbs turn into sugar in your body, or we're having like donuts or cereal, which has a lot of, processed sugar in them. And so it makes in total and incredible sense as to why around, noontime or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we're feeling so sluggish, we're feeling incredibly tired. And it's because we put all these sugars and essentially all these drugs into our body, which just causes us to it's a downer, if you will. And so just really thinking about, what we're putting into our bodies top of the day really affects how our days flow and the energy that we have throughout the day. And so I'm very, very grateful that you brought that up, Sweetness. And also I saw some folks mention it in the chat as well. I saw a lot of juiciness come through in the chat. Admin, if you can support me in, speaking on what was shared just now.
Sure. We have from Z, it seems oxymoronic, doesn't it, Darlene? I have to go back up then. Come up. Heavy is a breakfast bowl and a frozen meal for dinner. Then I have to figure out dinner because I don't want to eat heavy. That was from Shawnee. No, sorry, that's from Kaisha on Facebook. Candace said, Eating an earlier dinner makes a huge difference in my ability to rest well and better. Jacqueline says comfort foods knock me out. Yes. And then Louise chimed in, yes, when I eat late at night, it makes me gain weight. I have to be mindful not to eat after a certain time. And then Jacqueline said, my cravings come late at night, especially if I watch TV. Ilolo, wait, where did it go? Sorry. I will say, even with me noticing how certain foods affect my body. Let me see one more here. Kilolo, sugar is definitely addicting.
It is. And what I also say about sugar is that, for one, I quit sugar about, it's been years now, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, processed sugar. And what I found and what you'll find, though, is that you can receive the sweetness from other things. You know, fruits have tons of natural sugars in them. And you can also receive, sugars from various, like honeys and other like natural sweeteners. The refined sugars are the ones that are just really toxic for our bodies. But of course, everything in balance, right? Everything in balance. So thank you again for sharing that. I want to be mindful of the time. It's about 7:25, and we'll need maybe about 15 or so more minutes to continue this conversation around food. And now, especially as we get now into the power that we have in our negotiating our relationship with food. And we can go to the next slide, Tiffany, thank you. Yes, so we have the power. There are various ways in which that we can regain our power in our relationship with food. Like so often food drives us and we don't even recognize it or have any awareness to how food just kind of dictates how we operate in the world. But we can reverse it, and we have the power at the end of the day. So one of the ways in which we have the power is through cleansing and detoxifying. And so these are structured or intentional fasts to release toxins from the body. Cleansing is a practice that has been going on for centuries. The ancient Egyptians cleansed. I read somewhere they cleanse almost monthly, which is really good to just get out all of the gunk that's inside of your body that, we accumulate over time. And it will jumpstart you, cleansing and detoxifying will jumpstart you into feeling more energized and focused and aware to make clear decisions that will result in living a more balanced lifestyle. And so cleansing involves like when you remove or release and eliminate low quality foods from your diet. So that would be eliminating processed, fried, refined sugars, and then you would incorporate more fruits and vegetables, whole grains and whole foods, and there are all kinds of different fasts. There are juicing fasts, there are alkaline diet fasts, there are raw cleanse fasts. You can also just simply cleanse by not necessarily doing one of the hardcore, water fasts that some folks have also done, but just by eliminating, say fried foods from your diet, if that's something that you have regularly, and you'll notice within a week, sometimes really about 3 days or so, if that's something that you do on a regular, how your body will feel different by just eliminating something like fast foods or processed foods from your diet. Another way to have greater power within your relationship with food is by consuming more live food. So that's raw and uncooked fruits and vegetables. When we cook our foods, we're killing off a huge percentage of the nutrients that are so valuable in fueling our cells, and they're so valuable in helping us to be alive and alert and enthusiastic, right? So consuming more raw or live foods, uncooked foods, fruits and vegetables is a way in which we could jumpstart our bodies into being more balanced and having greater power over our bodies. Also, you may have heard of electric foods. That's another term that you might have seen or heard about when consuming raw foods. And another way, again, that we can control and have greater power in our foods and in our relationship with food is by, controlling and having greater say over how we're sourcing our food, right? So growing your own food and sourcing from local farmers markets is an incredible way to have greater power over our foods. Our foods, and particularly low quality foods and processed foods, have tons of genetically modified organisms, GMOs and pesticides on them. And we consume them, and those go into our bodies and go into our cells. And ultimately, over time, what we put into our bodies, habitually changes our genome. It changes our cells over time. And so eventually, our bodies will change. And that all plays into how we show up in the world, our level of clarity, and how we're able to be and operate and communicate and make, grounded decisions. All of these things are affected by what we put into our bodies. There's a lot of research out there right now as well, particularly around GMO foods and how they've been known to, there's research out there that shows that there might be a connection to, cancers and things like that within your body. And so we just must be really mindful of, how we're sourcing our food, where we're sourcing it from. And if we can grow our own food, that's the greatest power of all, being able to have direct control over our food and, supporting food justice and food sustainability, growing your own food. So I want to hear from you. I see a lot coming through in the chat. Medea has a question. Sister Medea, would you like to come in and chat with us about your relationship with food?
Yes, it's a complicated relationship. But I wanted to know, are there specific vegetables that are easily harvested in an apartment, in a small pot in my windowsill?
Yes. Yes, there are several vegetables that you can easily grow on your windowsill. All of your herbs to start. You can grow several different herbs right on your windowsill. Tomatoes you can sometimes grow if you have really good direct light, and others. And so we can definitely talk about some ways in which, or I can share directly some ways in which you can grow your food, or we can do some research and look at how you can grow your foods on your windowsill. I know here in the Wake Up space, Brother Kobla did some sessions a couple months back, or where he talked about growing your food. Exactly.
Okay.
So yes, there's a lot of different ways in which you can grow your food on your windowsill, but also I'm connected to hydroponic agriculture, which you can grow food in water. And so that's something that you can definitely do in, your apartment or condo or in the home. You can grow your food with the proper lighting and a whole little system that you can just get all the little parts for and grow your food in water in your home. And so, yes, there are many, many ways in which you can grow your food in your home. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to investigate that, because I know even if you can't afford organic, a lot of the foods have pesticides on it. So, and those pesticides can have an effect on our bodies as well. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But thank you.
Thank you for your share. I think I saw another hand that was raised, and lots happening in the chat, so I definitely want to see what's up. Admin, if you can support me there.
Yep,
I'm coming.
you have another.
Have it? From Facebook, Kaisha shared, I was thinking about intermittent fasting. I kind of do it daily, but not intentional. I first eat at 8 and have dinner by 6. By 6, I would like to try to fast for longer, or fast for one day.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, 1 day a week, and give my gut some rest. And then Stacy shared, while from Facebook also, while eating, think of how your food was cared for, packaged, who touched it. Imagine it nourishing your body with each bite, almost like food meditation. When you eat this way, you eat less. Mindfulness brings awareness to the body.
That you don't overeat. Yes, thank you so much, Stacey, for that share. I'm so grateful for that share. You're absolutely right. And that also speaks to how intimate our relationship is with food. Food is and can be a very meditative practice. I was reading somewhere where I believe it's in Japan, when they eat, you're just eating. You're only eating. The TV's not on. There's minimal conversation, if any at all. You're really just eating, and you're being present with the food. You're taking in all of the flavors. You're chewing your food, making sure that you're chewing it very, very well, which aids in healthy digestion when we chew our food really good. There's also like a chemistry that happens in our mouths when we're chewing our food, and how it engages and interacts with our bodily fluids and things like that. So yes, chewing our food and eating our food is a very intimate experience. And it's just being very mindful about that can definitely support our overall well-being. So thank you so much, Stacey, for that share. Absolutely. We have one more time to bring someone else's voice into the space.
I would offer up, I'm not sure, I think this is someone from your circle, Danelle Davis. I would love to hear about someone else who is living a life of intimacy with food. And I love that you brought intimacy in, because intimacy is what this week is about in Tumisi. And I don't practice an intimate, connected, and mindful relationship with my food and my eating rituals. So I'm grateful to be reminded. I've heard it before, I just don't do it. But I would love if Danelle, I don't want to mispronounce the name, is willing to share. Sounds like they practice in this way.
Yes, I'll be willing to share.
Thank you.
I would say intimacy in our food. Well, with my relationship, I would say it's intimacy in how my food is prepared, and the proper oils and the proper seasonings, and also how it nourishes my body and how I receive it. So it's really a building relationship actually when you and your partner share some of the ideas around food and also care for each other's gut health and drinking teas and things of that nature. So it's really being nourished by the proper foods. I would say.
Thank you, Donnell. And Shawnee, thank you for calling on him. That's my husband.
Oh, that's so great. Speaking of intimacy.
So yes, we have a very intimate relationship with food. That's actually how we met. It's so funny. We met at a place where we were getting vegan food, and honey, I'll tell this story. He let me cut in front of the line, and he let me cut in front of the line. And so I was ordering my food, and we were going down, and I had gotten the last of the vegan food. I got the last of what was offered that was already cooked and prepared. And he began to order his food. And I was like, oh my goodness, you're vegan? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh wow, me too. And so we've literally been together ever since. We were ordering our vegan food together. And yes, he's definitely right. Like, being mindful about all the oils and the seasonings and literally everything that goes into your food, the energy that is of the person who is preparing your food also goes into your food. And then when you consume it, we consume that energy as well. So thank you, dear, for sharing and coming into the space. And thank you, Shani, for intuitively selecting him and bringing him into the space. So thank you so much.
I would love to ask you all something, and if you're cool with this, as we said before we entered the space, like we control how the time goes, but I do want to be mindful of your time, sis. So just what came to me with you and Donnell talking about your relationship and the connection with food, the intimacy with the relationship itself, and then the intimacy that y'all have with food. I had not considered this, but just partnering with someone and having an aligned relationship with what you put into your bodies, because you're going to be utilizing these vessels to love on one another, literally and figuratively, is super important. And because I do couples work, over the years, what has come up is when one party is not mindful of how they take care of their physical bodies, and that includes food and the negotiation of exercise or going to the doctor. Like I had not considered when you create your list, because I want to manifest a partner, that piece being on the list. Like, do you give a damn about your physical frame? And as we age and grow over time, will I have to be spoon feeding you and changing your diaper because you just don't care? Like right now, because I've been speaking a lot about how what we do right now will determine what happens with us 20 years from now in reference to our bodies. And I'm glad I know it, but I wish I would have known it 20 years ago. So I just wanted to share that because you are a couple and intimate partnership. You're in intimate partnership.
Yes. No, that's incredibly important. It's very, very important. As Donnell said, it really affects, just our whole way of being. And, I'm the primary food maker in my family, but that's because I love food. Now, he can cook too, but I love food and I love preparing food. And we recognize that, like, again, the power that it has within our intimate partnership, but also as we are, really focused on, fulfilling our path and our purpose, we recognize that we have to be fueled. And recognizing that we have to be fueled with high quality products and high quality food so that we can best operate in of ourselves and with each other. So yes, Shani, absolutely. That's incredibly important when it comes to, sharing physical space with someone and also having food. It would be difficult. I know for me, it'd be difficult, living and being with someone who is like a stark meat eater, because, you can cross-contaminate. It's very important. And it very much so supports our alignment and our partnership. So yes, absolutely. Thank you for that.
Angele, do you mind, this is Medea. Do you mind?
Oh, Medea.
Yeah, we lost her.
You cut out again. Come again?
Okay, while she works on,
And to recognize gentlemen that
I'm gonna have to probably mute because of the issue with the sound. So Medea, please forgive us.
Okay.
Yeah, but what I wanted to ask, and Medea, you can put it in the chat and then we'll read it. Just Tiffany, be on the lookout for it. I wanted to acknowledge something that was in the chat earlier, but I love what Tiffany says. She said, I love cooking with my husband. It tastes better. I think we need to do a session on sensuality and food. And because about 5 years ago, maybe more, I learned the terminology, like even food porn. And I know I don't want to associate that with relationships, but people taking pictures of their food and posting it on Facebook. And I know some of the foods are not the healthiest sometimes, but just thinking about that whole concept around veganism and eating healthy, like that to me is sexy as hell. Like, being able to show electric food in our relationship with it. But I'm trying to find the post and I cannot find it. I think it came from Jackie. Yeah, but anywho, carry on, sis. I'll look for it and see if I can locate it.
Yeah. So as I said, well, I love making food, and food is, I would dare say it's my love language. if I make you a good bowl of food, you're gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be good. And I definitely communicate with my family in that way. So yeah, making food. And again, as I said, you pour our energy into creation. And when we're creating meals, when we are creating, that's definitely our energy. And it comes from a place of love. So absolutely, Shani, definitely resonates in that space. Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. I don't know if Medea, you were able to, drop your question in the chat. And
Yeah, it was just about rituals. What does that look like for you?
Let's see, my ritual around cooking is music, very important, very, very important. Because I also make everything from scratch. And so I'm oftentimes in the kitchen for at least maybe like 2 hours, everything from scratch, from like all my sauces to all of the condiments to everything. I make everything from scratch. So, I put on some music and I'm just in there cooking, and then the smells start coming. And my family, it creates a great anticipation. Like oftentimes my mother and even my husband, he'll come in and start smelling around and looking around to see what he can snack on. My dad does that as well. So definitely music and, having that energy of just making that food and creating. That's my ritual. Absolutely. Does anyone else have any rituals around creating their food? Thank you for that question. Oh, I like that, Stacey. You dance when I cook. Yeah, when there's some good beats going on, absolutely, absolutely. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, if there aren't any other pressing thoughts or questions, I see some hands raised, but I'm not sure if that's from earlier. I don't want to, if there's any other thoughts. This is so awesome. Thank you all for joining us on this sunrise to discuss our power with food. And so as you go into your day, take this with you on your day. Let's be mindful of, what we're putting into our bodies. It's early in the day where we can start out powerfully. And, I challenge you to, as you go throughout your day today, just think about like what you're putting into your bodies and pay attention to how it makes you feel thereafter, how it makes you feel as you're going about your day. I challenge you to be mindful about your power of food today. All right, Ashe. I'm complete.
Thank you. I'm going to go back and share the slides because we were not complete. We still have to talk about your wonderful special offers.
Oh, yes. I do have a special offer. Yes. Thank you, Tiffany. So I am offering a copy of my recipe book, 7 Soups for Your Soul. These are chakra balancing soups. And so we didn't get into chakras today, but we can definitely come back for that, where we have tons of energy centers around our auras, tons of energy centers in our fields. And there are 7 primary chakras. This is based on ancient Hindu practice. But there are 7 main energy fields within our bodies that really support how we feel in various aspects of our lives, really in all aspects of our lives, from feeling grounded, from being powerful in our voice, from thinking clearly and seeing clearly, from operating from our heart space. All of these energy centers have a particular characteristics associated with them, and there are particular and specific foods that support each chakra energy center. And so today, 2 folks will receive a complimentary copy of my recipe book. These are cleansing, detoxifying soups that you can create that will help cleanse your energy center. There are also affirmations on each of the recipes there that support the chakra and also support you in aligning and cleansing away some blockages that might be present in those energy fields. And so I will select 2 numbers.
Yep, you have 2. You have 1 to 33.
Okay, 1 through 33. So I select 11 and 22.
Okay,
as my number.
I'll get those names for you and you can speak on your next offer.
Awesome. And so those two individuals, if you could email me before the 27th of July, so that's before next Tuesday, if those two individuals that Tiffany will announce the raffle to, email me before next Tuesday to receive your complimentary recipe book. I also would like to offer one complimentary wellness consultation for the first person to email me. So that's anybody who emails me, the first person will receive, and we can schedule a complimentary wellness consultation. There are several different ways in which I can support you on your wellness journey through a cleanse or detoxifying journey, or a holistic wellness journey where you will identify and think through ways in which you can make shifts and changes in your life to live more balanced and clear for the long term. And so, we can work together to really identify some practices and things that you can, and steps that you can take towards your long-term holistic health. So the first person who emails me and express interest in the wellness consultation, we can get started there. So thank you.
Okay, so the winners for the cookbook are Fatima Rosa and Kwasi.
And what was the second person? Who was the second person?
Kwasi.
Okay, awesome. Sister Fatima. Kwasi, thank you so much. I'm so excited. Oh, yay. This is so fun.
Let's make sure they're a yes for it.
Oh, yes. I know. I'm excited.
From all of us, because we want to make sure that people are aware that they won and that they're, open to receive it. Because sometimes folks are like, I'll pass it on. So please do share. Are you willing to receive this awesome opportunity, Fatima Rosa? Yes?
Yes, I am.
All right, awesome. And let's see, Kwasi, you there, babes? Kwasi, Nicholas. Okay, so we may have to pick someone else.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the number after Kwasi was Sahu Speak.
Yeah, Sahu Speak has landed in the space. Sahu Speak, you a yes to receiving this book?
Yes, indeed. What? Yeah. Yeah, look at that.
All right.
And I'm so excited for y'all to receive it. Thank you. And so my recipe book is also available on my website. You can go there and receive your copy on my website there under Give Love. So when you go to journeysinharmony.com, you'll see Give Love at the top, and my recipe book, you will be able to find it there. And so this is how you can reach me. That's my number there. I'm on Facebook and Instagram as Journeys in Harmony. You can email me at Angele@journeysinharmony.com, or you can reach me through my website as well, Journeys in Harmony. Yes, up next, tomorrow, King Yofu will be sharing about this little child of mine. So be sure that you also join us in the sunrise tomorrow to hear from the amazing King Yofu.
Thank you very much, Angele. I'm going to take over for now, where we are getting ready to recognize all of the new Woo Nation newcomers, the new members who have decided to join a community where we come to learn, elevate, and ascend. So if this is your first session, if you are here for the first time, you were invited by Angele or anyone to come in and join this juicy conversation, please drop it in the chat. Let us know you are here. We want to recognize you for that. This is our Wake Up Everybody schedule. We are live in Zoom, Space, and Facebook 5 days a week. Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, we are here from 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. And on Mondays and Wednesdays, 7 to 7:30. If you'd like to know when these sessions are live, please text 74121. Text Woo Nation to 74121 so that you can get your notification in the morning that it is time to wake up and join We're still celebrating Woo's 1 year anniversary. We still got that swag for you. So your t-shirts, your sweatshirts, your mugs, your face masks, they are still available. Please shop us at bit.ly/Woo swag. Thank you very much for staying in touch with us. Please register at bit.ly/wake up movement so that you will be aware of what the sessions are. You can follow us on Facebook at bit.ly/Woo community, on Instagram at Wake Up Everybody Virtual, and on YouTube, bit.ly/Woo on YouTube. And for information, if you're interested in joining this community as a facilitator and admin, we welcome you. Please email us at info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. At this time, I invite everyone to come off of mute. It's time to rain love and abundance on Angele for our wonderful presentation. Thank you so much, Angele. Love you. You've been great.
Thank you, Angele. It's so
Angele.
fun.
Thank you, thank you,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Angela. I appreciate you.
Absolutely
And
amazing.
make sure
Thank
you
you for
come
the
back. I'm so
information, the
interested in
wealth.
hearing about the
Thank you,
chakras and
Well,
food
thank you
too.
so
Thank you,
much.
thank
Look
you.
forward to you coming
Food.
back. Thank you
Have a
for
great
that.
day, everyone.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Know that you plant and grow. That is
This was really
amazing to
amazing.
see.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Much love.
Thank
you
you.
so much.
La, 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 whoop, whoop, yeah. Angele.
Thank you, Angela.
For your blessings and your offering.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm excited to receive the recipe books I received.